And we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break podcast. It's Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here for the Lakers Fast Break Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts. Tomorrow, we are recording an episode, Melinda and I. Oh my gosh, a lot to talk about. New Star Wars on the way. And she and Josh finally get to have me shut up about a Mass Effect series because they finally confirmed it's coming to Amazon in development now.
There's another Star Wars?
Well, no. Today was N7 day. If you're in Mass Effect, you know what N7 is. They announced on Amazon Mass Effect series based off the video game that you see right behind me. But they also, not Amazon, but Lucasfilm also conveniently, I don't know why they did it on today, but they did it. They announced that a new trilogy is in the works, not set in the Skywalker universe. That's for everybody out there. So, yes, that they announced that besides all the other stuff with the Mandalorian and all that stuff, they are doing a totally new universe deal with Star Wars. Yes. We will talk more about that on the Pop Culture Cosmos this weekend. Go ahead and make sure you be a part of it. But also as well, of course, Joe Soros here rolling up his eyes on that. And I can't say I blame him on that because, if you saw the last 3 movies, you'll understand why. He is Ox1947 at LakersBall.com. And also as well, of course, he is also the man behind Simblades. Simblades with a Y.com. Also, as well, go ahead and check out our friends at Lakerholics.com. They're always having fun there. Laker Tom, maybe eating a little bit of crow himself, which we talked about before us, possibly having to do, which most likely may not happen now the way that they're looking. But his thoughts on JJ Redick. Yeah, he's not looking like the next Pat Riley now, but we'll talk about that coming up here in a little bit. Also, as well, of course, Inside Sports Fantasy Football. We just got done with a great hour-long episode where we talked NFL Week 10, Christian McCaffrey returning, and a ton of baseball conversation on the World Series with Joe and Chris. They seem to enjoy it. Joe wanted to get it, really in the, I guess he really wanted to get to know and understand what a Yankees fan is feeling, and Chris, as a Yankees fan, complied. And they had a great conversation. I was listening intently along with our audience. So go ahead and check that out on Inside Sports Fantasy Football. Also, Lakers in 5, Empire Jeff TV, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Hey, or yo, I don't know what you're using now, DBSH. You got to let me know. John McCalian, all those great places to go. John Costas, Clutch Talk and Lakers Corner, which we're on right now. Like and subscribe to all those great places. Legends Channel, Alfred Esmond on Twitter, Stone Hansen on Twitter, all these great places. Like and subscribe, but also as well, make sure you sign up today for $2.99 a month. You get emojis, badges, inside information, and articles sent to you right there if you're a member. Plus also, again, like and subscribe to help us out. It really helps us grow. We're trying to get bigger and better sooner rather than later. And you can help make that happen right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. Well, the Lakers are coming home wounded, pride, and also with their bodies as far as that's concerned, because AD, who has now listed as probable with plantar fasciitis, that's his injury that was stated today. That's what he's dealing with, has been dealing with it for quite some time. He is probable for tomorrow night's game against the Sixers, the 1-6 Sixers, with Paul George returning, but Tyrese Maxey out for weeks with a hamstring injury, and also Embiid still out. So we'll see what happens at the crypt here coming up tomorrow. Latest news on Bronny James, which is something was already reported on weeks ago by Shams Charania, even before they went out on the road trip. But just to reiterate, ESPN had to go ahead and blast out there again. Bronny has been sent to South Bay in the G League. Yes, we know that. Yes, that's where he needs to go, and he needs to stay and be for quite some time until he ever becomes a player. Or if he does become a player, which he probably won't become an NBA player. But again, we'll see what happens there. But it is, of course, the Lakers fast break. But the question I have on the marquee for today is the honeymoon over already? JJ Redick was absolutely ticked off after the performance yesterday in Memphis, outside of LeBron James, of course. LeBron James did play his heart out. He did turn back the clock, so to speak. And I was talking to Sean. I emailed Joe on this because it was, about last night's coverage and about LeBron this, LeBron that. And LeBron did play well, yes. But again, we're seeing declining returns from LeBron over the course of this season. We're not going to get 37 points each and every game out from him. It just can't do it anymore at the age of 40. And as long as he costs as much as he does, and as long as he controls as much as he does, this Lakers team is going to be continuing in the way it has always been doing for the past couple of seasons, and even less so as we're moving along. But is JJ Redick going to be the coach that we need to help us get out of this once we do ever get a team that can compete in the Western Conference at a higher level together? That is the question today, because again, is the honeymoon over for JJ Redick? That's the question I have for you, Joe, because again, he was really, really incensed. Now, they did need a butt chewing. They did play with a lot of listlessness. That D'Lo was sat down early in the second half. He was really D'Lo the whole season has been just out to lunch, and in a contract year, I think that's absolutely just asinine if that's the case. Dalton Connect in his hometown stunk. And, we've been big supporters of Dalton Connect. That didn't work out for us so far. Max Christie has, great that Max Christie is the only time he's ever played anywhere decently is that when the game is already out of reach. That's not good for him. He's been absolutely miserable this entire season. Cam Reddish, people are trying to defend Cam Reddish. And when you're down to Cam Reddish, my friend, as far as depending on him, as far as a reliable resource off the bench, I don't know what that speaks, but that does not bode well for the Lakers long term. But your thoughts, my friend, on JJ Redick? Again, he chewed everybody out, except for LeBron, of course. What are your thoughts? Is the honeymoon over for JJ Redick and the Lakers?
There was no honeymoon.
Well, it seemed like it. Everybody was Shangri-La. Everybody love each other. La la la.
If you're gonna put a comparison to it or an analogy to it, a metaphor, whatever it is that you want to look at it as, it was maybe a good engagement.
Okay, that's good. That's a good way to say it. Yeah.
Good engagement.
Mm-hmm.
And then once the engagement party was over, then settlement happened, and you realized what is next in the union situation. And reality came in and slapped you in the face. And I'm going to be very, very, very clear on this so that everyone understands. The reason why, or one of the reasons why, the Lakers are in this position and have been in this position for the last 3 years is because of LeBron James and his cohorts. LeBron can score 80 points in a game and play phenomenally efficiency-wise, defy his age, and it won't matter. It won't matter. He is the reason, one of the main reasons why this is the way it is. And he needs to be ridiculed for it because he helped end this run that should have not ended, at least not in this way. And he takes up a quarter of the salary, more than that if you factor in the actual salary cap. And it results in terrible team basketball because you have a general manager who has no idea how to accumulate talent, how to see talent. You have an owner who has absolutely no idea what the fuck she's doing because she's too busy being personally involved with everyone. And LeBron James is at fault there too. Now, it's not like Dr. Buss and Magic back in the 80s. There was a lot of that going on, and I've had that discussions with people, but there's a huge difference. Magic Johnson was two people at that time. Magic Johnson was Irvin, and he was Magic. Irvin was the guy that hung out with Dr. Buss. Irvin was the guy that was buddy, wanted to make everybody happy. And we love Irvin Johnson. We love Irvin. Love Irvin Johnson. We'll always love him, despite some of the bad decisions he's made with the team, some of the dumb things he said. Doesn't matter. We're not perfect, but Magic Johnson is damn good, and he's a good person. I've shook that man's hand, looked him in the eye. One of the greatest smiles you ever see. The TV doesn't give his smile justice. You got to see it in real life. It's next level. Good man. But there was a Magic Johnson. And when Magic got on that court, it was all business. When he was practicing, it was all business. When he was preparing for anything, it was all business. I'm not saying LeBron is not all business when he goes on the court, but it's not, at least recently. It was more about the circus that they played during the draft, and the non-activity that his team was forced to not have because of those decisions over the last 3 years. And that right there is something that needs to be continuously said, because the interpretation from either those who know basketball or don't know basketball seem to keep falling into that trap. You're not going to win this argument, folks. You know why? It doesn't matter if you're smart enough to make that statement because you know the game or you don't know the game. In the end, the results are going to dictate what we say. And what you're saying, if you're saying LeBron is playing well, LeBron shouldn't be the one being criticized, you don't know what the hell you're talking about then. Because the reason why they're losing is because of him. He's the leader. That's how it works. What happens to Aaron Judge when he doesn't hit? The Yankees lose the World Series. Am I wrong or am I right, since we're talking baseball a little bit here tonight? If Judge doesn't hit the crapper in the World Series, if he's hitting like he hit in the regular season, are they not probably winning the World Series, or at least taking it to 6 or 7? Yes. But instead, they got smoked because 95% of the time he didn't do anything. And he's the guy. He's the 50 home run hitter. He's the MVP. He is going to be an MVP in 2 weeks. But he didn't show up when it mattered. And right now, LeBron shows up statistically, but where he didn't show up was making sure his team was going to compete, because he was just too worried about his own things. And that's always been a LeBron thing. It's always been there, mixed in with something here and there that matters. Sure, he won a championship for the Lakers. Sure, we're going to be happy when we look back on this and say, hey, at least he won a championship. Hell of an accomplishment, winning 3 championships with 3 different teams and winning the MVP in all 3 of those as well. Good for him. But like most of his visits, he leaves a lot of collateral damage. And that's what he's leaving the Lakers now. And then what you're doing now is, and this is probably more of an irritant to me, and I don't know why no one else is talking about it, but the Lakers should have told LeBron, you know what? We have a still young AD that we can start building a little bit from something else. We can bring talent here so that he can be the guy and at least have a shot at not having to worry about a complete rebuild. You can at least continue to try to maybe win for the next 4 or 5 years, but that's being kind of put in the back burner too. And that part is what's frustrating me. So with that, as far as JJ Redick's honeymoon is concerned, JJ Redick has no reason to be upset right now. He might be emotional. He might be storming off. He might be doing all that, but he shouldn't be doing this. He can coach. We've seen it. He can coach. He's got some skill, but he ain't going to be able to get to this until this roster is completely flipped. This is like putting Chuck Knox This is like putting Chuck Knox. For those of you who don't know who Chuck Knox is, Ground Chuck was his nickname.
Yes,
Football
he
coach.
was.
Okay? This is like putting Chuck Knox in Houston during the 90s when they ran the run and shoot. Run and shoot was a kind of a precursor to the, how could I say, kind of the modern offense, the shotgun offense, like Mahomes' offense, the Andy Reid offense, the Patriots offense, whatever. Basically, all day throwing type stuff. That's what this is. So somebody needs to sit down with JJ Redick and say, dude, just hang tight, dude. Hang tight. Just do your thing. Get yourself, learn what you don't know. Get yourself focused on more of what you need to do to get better as a coach. Because as soon as JJ Redick has some talent, he is going to do well. But right now, they don't have any talent. They might have a chance to win tomorrow, though, because they have Maxey and Embiid are out tomorrow. But Reggie Jackson's on that team, and you know what he does when he plays the Lakers.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is Joe Soro, along with me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for watching, listening. Truly appreciate you joining us. Don't forget, tomorrow, it is the Lakers and the Sixers. We'll go ahead and throw it up on there for playback, playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break, and Xbox. Yes, I did hear everything in the car heading to the Wynn, which is so funny because I was told that we were going to eat at the Wynn buffet for a birthday party. We get there. I drop the ladies off in front. I'm going to park, and I get a call from the ladies. Joe, my wife says, honey, yeah, sorry, it was next week, not this week. I was like, oh. And I walked away, and all the time I'm hearing Xbox go on his political stuff while during the whole thing, and I'm just
That was
going,
awesome.
yeah, I hated every second of it.
I loved it.
And if you're a new listener or new viewer, why would you even want to come to the channel if that's the case, if you guys were talking the way you guys were talking? But it's okay. All right, it's what it is. As I already told Xbox off, yeah. So
it was
but
awesome.
I love you.
I will do
But I
that
love you,
again.
Mark.
I will
No,
do that again over
well,
and over again.
Again, no, you won't, because again, we want to keep it a sports channel and entertainment channel. You want to go to another political channel if you want all that stuff.
Nah,
But
I don't
again,
wanna do
it
that.
is what it
I
is.
want to do
Yeah.
it only on this show.
No, it's okay. I don't think so. No. But anyways, as I said, at least I got a good, hot pot downtown. Actually, it was in Chinatown. There was a good hot pot place, so we went there instead. So yeah, what can I say though with JJ? I did get, again, watching the game back. It's just LeBron is a major part of this because, again, as I told, as far as the email that came to us, LakersFastBreak@yahoo.com, as far as from Sean, I said my answer was, when it comes to LeBron James, $50 million, 39 years old. You can't expect a 30-year-old LeBron anymore. The problem is this team is designed for a much younger LeBron James, and you only get that once every 4 or 5 games. It's just not going to happen, Joe, and it's just not good. His $50 million, he could have taken a pay cut to help build this team, to help strengthen the bench, to help put better players out on the court there with him, but he chose not to. He also could have told the Lakers, no, Bronny is not ready to be an NBA player. So don't go get him. Don't draft him. It's okay. Avoid drafting him. No, he could have told him that, but no, it was the exact opposite. So to Sean and everybody out there that are LeBron supporters, and yes, he is one of the greatest players of all time. I'll never dispute that. Yesterday, he showed you that he can play at a level at 39 better than any other 39 has ever played in this league. But he can only do it, as you see, once in the fourth quarter against Sacramento, and once because Ja Morant pissed him off and said he was, Vincent too small, so he had to go back up to too small. So they went back and forth, and he got all pissed. And all of a sudden, he's playing defense against Ja and all that stuff that you saw. Those turn back the clock moments don't happen as often as they once did. His overall stats, throw that game out, they're actually substantially lower than even last year's stats. And that's not what the Lakers need, especially with the lack of depth that they have on this team. So JJ has got his work cut out for him. Again, a lot of this may not be on him. He's a rookie coach coming into this situation, Joe, but this I mean, the way he handled it, probably the way you and I would have handled it, because the rest of the team gave no effort. And LeBron, yeah, he gets some kudos for last night, but he's not going to be able to do that all the time. And again, we talked about the fact that he takes up so much salary cap space. He has Bronny there. He has designed the Lakers the way he wants to see it, which is preventing the Lakers from getting farther ahead than they can this season.
We're going to see another 5 weeks before there's an option at doing something in terms of talent acquisition. However, 5 weeks is a very long time. You're talking about 20 games now.
Mhm.
If they end up going 5-15, the season's over.
So let me ask you this. I didn't mean to interrupt. My apologies, but I wanted to get this while I still had a thought on my mind. You and I and several of our other panelists predicted the Lakers to be a team that play in, or in case of Stone, out of the play in entirely. We predicted that this team would be a little bit or right around 500 for the season. We predicted that this team would have real hard times this season. And if the Lakers get injuries with AD or LeBron, it's going to get a lot worse. But when after 3-0, how many people jumped the bandwagon and told us, get ready for the Black Olives, get ready for the Black Olives? You on Lakers ball, Joe, how many people told you to get ready for the Black Olives, get ready to eat some crow, all that stuff. But it's so funny because I was listening to Empire Jeff TV. Excellent job as always, as he does. Please like and subscribe to his channel. But the one thing he did say that kind of, so maybe Lakers fans, we should change our expectations on the Lakers this season. That's, I don't know, that reminded me a lot about Darvin Ham and what some of the things he said about, hanging on every wins and loss. This Lakers fandom that we have, a lot of these fans are expecting nothing but championships. So how can you just tell them that maybe the expectations should change? With all due respect to Empire Jeff, who again does such an outstanding job, you're asking all these people to change expectations to come in line to where we, Joe, expected them to be.
Laker fans have always been delusional in their talent evaluation. Ramon Sessions was a deadline pickup, and people thought this guy was going to be
the next Magic.
The next Magic. Tierre Brown was one of my favorite topics.
Good one.
Tierre Brown was supposed to be this AI, like, I'm exaggerating obviously, but this AI type talent. I'm like, guys, Jesus Christ, enough. It'll never go away. Laker fans are delusional fans in a lot of ways, and they just hold hope on a lot of things. The Lakers are one injury away, and Anthony Davis has plantar fasciitis,
Plantar fasciitis, yes.
Fasciitis, yes. That's not going to go away.
It's going to be a pain in the foot for him for the rest of the
all year, and it's been going on since apparently this even tail end of last year. So he has not healed from it. Pardon the pun. And that makes things much worse because now you know that he's probably not going to be able to play the 76 games like he did last year. You're looking at him probably missing 12 games if you're lucky. This is the only two-way player you have in a season that you might have worse talent than you did last year because D'Angelo Russell is so bad. And you have, instead of Taurean Prince, you have Max Christie. All due respect, Taurean Prince is a better basketball player than Max Christie, despite all the negative with Taurean Prince. So how does that make you feel? And not only is Max Christie bad, he's worse than I thought he was going to be. So imagine that. Then you have Dalton Connect, who's a rookie. Sure, he's better than JHS, but we saw last night that when he's playing against athletic freaks and teams that are going up and down, he's having a hard time keeping up. He's going to have to play against more half-court type teams to probably have a chance to maybe blossom a little more. But if he's running with the John Morants and the Triple J's and guys that are moving around, athletic, tall, lanky, yeah, you're going to have a problem. And mind you, they didn't play with Desmond Bane last night. What would happen if Bane was playing? And they already went coast to coast all game practically. So yeah, it's tomorrow. Maybe there's a chance they can kind of come back, have some home cooking, have their own beds, and beat a Embiid Maxey list team. Paul George is slated to play. I don't know if that's going to make a difference, but it would be nice to get a win tomorrow on a Friday night, and hopefully start something at home that can mean wins. However, in the long run, if AD is not available to play and play consistently, it's just going to make it that much harder for this team to have any continuity and any chance at being able to be competitive in games that actually are against good teams, which most of the teams in the West are.
Once again, it is Joe Soro, aka Ox1947 at LakersBall.com. Plus also as well, me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for watching, listening. Truly appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Subscribe today to get the latest notifications on when we go live on the air with the latest Lakers Fast Break podcast. Tomorrow I look to do a quick pregame, then get you guys all set up for playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. Remember, I've got 20 VIPs to play with during the course of playback. And also as well, we try to chat with you if you're just stay on YouTube for the scoreboard and chat, or Facebook as well. Want to make sure that you guys are always set up. And then, of course, the best Lakers post game that's out there is right here at the Lakers Fast Break. And I want to say, I think you guys did a good job. I thought it was so funny, Joe, because I was walking into the Hot Pot restaurant when you guys had that conversation with the guy, I guess the troll that was on there, and I saw the troll. It's so funny because not only, I know you don't like me when I ban people, but I was banning him because I was just didn't want to deal with it. I was pissed off from the Lakers game, so I'm like, I don't want to deal with this guy. So I'm banning him at the moment you're chewing him out, and I loved it. Just the timing. You're chewing him out, and I'm banning him. So he gets it from both sides. I thought it was beautiful.
It's the interpretation disease that is society. The misinterpretation of people when they speak it's something that needs to be addressed. It doesn't get addressed enough. It needs to come back at those people with a sledgehammer, verbally, obviously. I don't want to kill anybody. It's not acceptable when someone doesn't say something and you interpret it in a way in your own mind that they said something. That's stupid. You ruin things when you do that. You ruin discussions. You ruin. This is the kind of stuff that when the famous Iago and Othello story, all this innuendo and all these interpretations and what ended up happening in that story. I don't want to spoil the story, but people got killed because of it. And that was Shakespeare, 800 years ago, 700 years ago, 600 years ago, whatever it was. Human behavior has never changed. And likely my little tirade is not going to change that either, because people want to believe so much that something is what it is when it's not. And that's a bad way to live. It's a very bad way to live. It's very, very indicative of what we've been talking about with this team. You actually are trying to convince me that this team is going to be better because there's a coach now that has a couple plays where they may help the players. Okay, but will these people make shots when they're open? Will they be able to defend players? Because JJ Redick can't be there to tap your ass on the court to play. You still got to play. You still have to make shots and execute the game plan. And there was no advancement in those areas. We wanted them to run this team back, but we also wanted an addition of talent, not sign Max Christie to a $32 million contract. What the fuck are you doing? What the hell was that? So, folks, you can hit, kick, whine, cry, whatever. It's not going to change shit on this side. I am never going to change. I'm going to tell you what's up based off what I see. If you don't like it, drink your milk, drink whatever drink you like, and go home. It's never going to change. I got more energy than every one of you motherfuckers out there. It doesn't matter.
I'm not going to dispute that.
Okay? It doesn't matter because I'm not saying anything in this discussion that has anything to do with me. It's not about me feeling good or being right. I don't give a shit. I don't care for compliments. I don't care for negative talk. I don't care. I will never change. Ever. No matter what. I know who I am. I got an army behind me. I got family that loves me. Okay? I got clients that adore me. I got everything in my life. Thank God I'm healthy too. So when I come on here and I'm telling you what's up with my favorite team, your favorite team, you need to open the hearing aid and at least come back with something that makes sense instead of, oh, why are you talking about LeBron? Why am I talking about LeBron? Really? You're still doing that? Why LeBron? What, I'm supposed to be magically delicious because he has a 39-point game? Of course he had a 39-point game last night. No one else did shit. They didn't do anything. That's what happens when they just go, well, just let LeBron score. That's how it works, folks. Watch the game. Watch. I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing it. I'm not forcing these people to do this. Stone Hansen. This guy's watched more basketball than all of your ancestors put together in the last 5 years. You think I'm not going to listen to him when he says something? You don't think I listen to someone who knows what the hell they're talking about? If I'm talking to an astrophysicist, I've already told you this. I'm going to go ask that guy a question and shut the hell up. I don't know anything about astrophysicists. Nothing. Zero. I know there's space. That's it. And planets and stars. That's it. I got nothing else. But this is my domain. This is my arena. Why? Because I watched every motherfucking game last year, folks. And I've watched thousands of the Laker games. Thousands. All 4 quarters, all overtimes, all playoffs, all the great players, all of it. What are you going to tell me that I don't know? What? Seriously, what are you going to tell me? You're going to tell me Max Christie's going to play well this year? You're going to tell me Cam Reddish, if Cam Reddish, if Vando comes back, if everyone is healthy and revert back to their 22-year-old age, that's what I start to hear after a while because it's unrealistic. It's unrealistic, and I will play along sometimes because I know it's exhausting being in the negative. Believe me, I get it. The Lakers win tomorrow, we're probably going to have a nice positive night because there does need to be a balance, okay? It's I get it. But
So if
folks,
they beat the team that's 1-6, we're gonna think that's a major step in the right
I'm
direction.
trying to balance the emotion. I'm trying to live in the moment a little bit. It's okay.
Okay.
But don't come back to me and say, oh my God, they're going to go win the division now. Okay. Hold on. Hang on there. Hold on. We beat the 76ers at home. Cool. Now we're 5-4. Let's see what happens now. Let's explain what happened and why it worked in this game. That's what we have. That's all we have at this moment. Otherwise, we're going to hate every game knowing that we're not going to win anything. Then we might as well just shut the show down.
And I know you guys don't want that to happen. So, well, maybe actually.
But it's important. It's important that everyone understands this, because I feel like a lot of you do. You got a lot of our staples are there. And then there are some that just are in denial. They are in denial. Understand that there's nothing you can say that will affect the reality of what this is. And it has nothing to do with me or Gerald or anybody. It doesn't, folks. I'm sorry. It doesn't. It doesn't affect us in the personal. It doesn't. Focus on the issue and understand what we're saying.
And you and I got a lot of flack, especially because we're the two most popular faces on here. But a lot of the panelists, we got a lot of flack, coming in the season about how low we thought the Lakers season would be, or how low rated we thought they would be in the Western Conference, et cetera. And I credit Empire Jeff for saying to his audience, look, maybe we need to temper our expectations. Maybe we need to change the expectations. But that's so tough when you say that to the Lakers fan base, who are so, as you said, spoiled. We're spoiled on championships. When you win 17 world championships, you become a little bit spoiled. So to be told that by Empire Jeff probably was a shell shock for a lot of people out there when they heard that. But I give him a lot of credit for saying that. For us, if you've been watching this channel, you understand that's how we've been evaluating this team for quite some time. We were abundantly and pleasantly surprised when this team got off to 3-0 and looked like things were working well. The offense was flowing well. The defense was workable enough. There were some issues, yes, but they were scoring at a rate that was absolutely getting them the victories, or making at least very, even in Phoenix, where they had a chance to win that game. But Joe, when it comes right down to it, those weaknesses, even before AD's injury, started to really show up. And even with AD playing at an MVP-like level, and I said this to Sean, it's the Lakers are looking like the team that's going to be an also-ran this season. And unless they do trade a miraculous trade out there, somebody becomes a sucker for any one of the Lakers pieces not named Anthony Davis, it looks like it's going to be an also-ran season for the Lakers, which looks more like the way we had called it. And I don't want to be right. I didn't in this case. I wanted to be wrong. You and I both wanted to be eating olives. We wanted the Lakers to be at the top of the Western Conference. We wanted to go ahead and everybody say, ha, 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 you guys were wrong. You guys are wrong, and troll us and all that stuff. We would have loved that, because we would have had the Lakers in a position where everybody would have been happy, including us, Joe.
And I played along. I'll be honest. I played along after the 3-0 start, in the back of my mind, knowing what likely was coming, because this is not just a Lakers show in a lot of ways. It's an entertainment show. And when I get emasculated in my own life, like regular life, it's a comedy show. People like to look at people who are usually on point failing. That's a normal thing. People don't like to see people winning all the time. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you something, folks. I win a lot, and that bothers people sometimes. And I let them know that it doesn't bother me, and that makes it even worse for them. I'm talking family, friends, because there is some arrogance that comes from it. This depends on the person. Some I don't do that to, that don't deserve it. So winning is what everything is created to win. It's Steinbrenner style. It's just what it is. I want to win. And if I'm not going to win, whether it's an area where I can control it or not control it, which is all sports, I can't control anything in the winning there. So I have to be an observer and try, as a person who's doing a show of one of my favorite teams, the only outlet I can take out of that is explaining why things aren't working out. I can't do anything about it. I can't make a transaction for the team. I can't play. I'm on the outs on that. The only thing I can do is maybe whatever we say resonates and virals somewhere to where there's something that hits a nerve. That's it. There's nothing else I can do. This team is not talented enough. It did not acquire enough talent with its current structure to compete for what needs to be a championship run when you have this much salary tied to two players. I will have a lot of respect for LeBron James, and again, I respect LeBron's game. I've always respected LeBron's game, and I've respected him in a lot of areas, even outside the game. Except now, I'm going to wait and see what he does at the end of the year. If he retires, I'm going to have a lot of respect for him even more, because he'd be doing a service to not only himself. 22 years is a good number. Call it a day. You got all the records. You got the championships. You're arguably the greatest of all time. However anybody wants to see that, good for them. And then at that point, the Lakers can finally turn the page on this. I don't know if Rob is going to be a part of that transition. I don't know if Jeannie's still going to be shit for brains on this. But I'll tell you this, if she screws up after LeBron even more, then the pressure is going to continue in terms of her not being the owner of the Lakers. And then at that point, you're talking about a woman that's going to be in her 70s here not too long from now. Is this something she really wants to continue to stress over? And there's no one else to take over, folks. Really no one else. You want AEG taking over? I mean, they're trying to sell everything they can to make ends meet, don't they, Gerald?
Yep.
Yeah, you don't want those guys running anything. Like I said, it's time to start campaigning. Time to start getting the word out on the Guggenheims. Those guys know how to run things, and they're very successful in LA. I would highly recommend that Jeannie starts to look into that. AEG, start to look into that. Hopefully in the next 5, maybe 10 years, considering that. That's what I'm crossing my fingers on right now, because if this does not happen, then you will have a Cincinnati Bengal type atmosphere with the Lakers for the next decade. Inept ownership. And the only thing that saved the Mike Browns and the McCaskies in Chicago and the Bidwells in Arizona are those NFL TV contracts. For those of you who don't know this, the NFL, it might have changed since the last time I heard this, but I know for sure this is true. The NFL is the only business entity that tells the network what they're going to pay them. Let me repeat what I just said. The NFL is the only business entity that tells a network like NBC, ABC, CBS, Fox what they're going to pay them, not the other way around. That's how much power the NFL has. And that's why those schmucky owners have been able to continue to run those teams, because it's a fixed game and it's evenly distributed.
I think, Joe, what Eric says, and he's such, whenever Eric comes on, as far as in our chat, he's always very astute. Eric, remember the invitation. I've seen you on other shows. If you ever want to jump on our show, man, you just hit me up, LakersFastBreak@yahoo.com. He says a lot of the Lakers fan base and media outlets need to check their temperature. And I get that. I understand that. Again, it's very much a hot and cold reaction that we see. I mean, they get overly hot when the Lakers went on a 3-0 to start the season. We had Juan predicting 8-0, world championship already, et cetera, et cetera. God bless you, Juan. Love you, man. But he is the eternal optimist among all eternal optimists. Laker Tom calling JJ Redick, Pat Riley, whatnot. And when it gets negative or when it goes awry, we're maybe sometimes a little bit too hard on the Lakers. But, as we see it right now, we see them coming home. They're a 4-4 record. They're tied for fourth place in the division. Golden State and Phoenix are doing extremely well. Sacramento's doing okay. And with those teams above them in the standings, Joe, right now you cannot have any downtime because Golden State and Phoenix are getting off to an amazing start. And with that, the Lakers right now are in 10th, right about where we had predicted them.
They're one injury away with one serious injury away. And when I say serious, I'm talking a rolled ankle. That'll a high a high ankle sprain type.
What if LeBron or AD gets a hamstring injury like Maxey, where he's out several weeks?
So a hamstring injury, something that lingers, that doesn't go away very easily. They are one of those injuries away from being out of the playoffs. It's not a joke. They are that close. They are that close. And because they have no reinforcements at all. Zero. They have no one on this team that can back it up. And yeah, the shows will be depressing most of this year. And LeBron can do us all a favor and retire at the end of the year. Then at least there's a little bit of a window that can open so that the Lakers can go acquire some talent. There will always be great players that will consider the Lakers, especially if they have an Anthony Davis on the team, to come over here and get paid top dollar. They'll always be there, even though there was a little bit of a lull during the Byron Scott, Luke Walton era. The reason why that was is because the teams were so bad, they didn't want to come over here. It didn't make any sense. But imagine if LeBron retires at the end of the year and you still have Anthony Davis, people are going to be interested in wanting to come to LA.
What if he doesn't?
What if
he does the 1-on-1 thing again? Would you become more interested, or at least, more lenient of what I said in the about trading AD?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't know what I'm going to do. I really don't. I'm going to be doing the same thing I'm doing now, I guess.
I don't think Doobie he is. Personally, I don't think he is. Again, I think he'll do the same thing he did this past season, do another 1-on-1. But that's just me. I'm hoping Joe is right, because what we've seen, with LeBron, one of the greatest players ever to play the game. Like Joe said, he has all the records, has all the championships, but right now you're getting the LeBron James that the Lakers need once every 4 to 5 games. And the Lakers need more than that. They need someone that's going to come in and be able to produce at a high level each and every game. And he cannot do that anymore. And it's not fair to ask him to do that. And taking up $50 million when he could have taken a pay cut to bring in better talent would have been great. Would have been also great if he told the Lakers they didn't have to draft Bronny James, but they did. They felt the pressure to do so. Even if he didn't outright say it, he said it. So there you go. It is what it is. We're in this mess, partly because of him, but also because of the fact that we just have a front office that has really little idea about what they want to do that's good for this organization. I mean, there's so much dead space after position number 10, after man number 10 of the rotation. There's so many bad contracts right now on the Lakers roster. I mean, you guys, I see today on one of the Lakers channels that's out there, like talking Dennis Schroeder for Gabe Vincent. Why would Brooklyn want Gabe Vincent unless you're throwing them a number 1 on top of it, Joe? It's this. He doesn't score. Why?
I didn't even mention Gabe Vincent. That's how
he's invisible most of the time.
Yeah, that's how transparent he is at this point. I forget about Gabe Vincent. I forgot about him during preseason sometimes.
He's on the court and the rest of the team forgets about him.
He is bad. He is worse than I thought he was going to be. I thought he was going to be bad, but he's worse. Same with Max. Vando's this unavailable, which is pretty much status quo with him.
And he was
LeBron
injured when he signed that contract, Joe.
LeBron is a year older. AD's a year older. It doesn't work that way. I thought maybe at least if AR could hit maybe a few more threes, that would help. Rui got a little bit better, but not really the last few games. And then D'Lo is absolutely trash can. If he's become trash.
But that's the biggest question mark of all, Joe, because again, yeah, he plays terrible defense, but it's gotten 10 times worse than what we've seen it. And this is a contract year. He is playing for his everyday NBA starting life first team. He's no longer, at this rate, if he signs a contract, it's going to be a minimum, maybe at best, if he keeps on playing like this throughout the rest of the season, because nobody will want to pay him any kind of money next season, or at least expect him to be a starting point guard. Nobody will want him for that, Joe, at
Yeah,
all.
yeah, Doobie, I agree. It feels like that D'Lo doesn't want to be there. I saw it in the preseason. He was horrid in the preseason, and he looked like he didn't care.
But we thought it
And
was just preseason, right? We just
so
thought,
there could be burnout from just I'm tired of being here. Please just trade me and get me out of here. I think that might be part of his mentality right now.
and it's a shame because the Lakers, again,
Same with Gabe.
yeah.
Gabe is probably reading all the stuff about how he sucks, and he's like, "Screw this! I don't want to be here." Not everybody can live under that spotlight. It's just that's a 50-50 thing. There's no either you do or you don't. There is nothing else in the middle, really.
And it's kind of depressing, Joe, because you see out there, like for instance, yesterday's game, Jay Huff shooting threes, being that stretch five that Laker Tom always dreams about. He was on our team. We just had to let him progress and grow as a player. Scottie Pippen Jr. getting a double double, letting him grow and progress as a player. He's done better than I expected him to play. And give him all the credit in the world for that. He is playing at an extremely high level for him. And the Lakers had the chance to sign these players. Now Castleton's on their team, so who knows about Castleton? And then of course, the Magic trade, or if you want to say Rob was involved, not he was in the room. Zubats is averaging 17, and I think he's leading the league in rebounding, Joe, for the Clippers. Mo Wagner playing a vital part off the bench for Orlando. It's like these are players you could have retained, and they're playing somewhere else. That's what's hurting even more, Joe, is that the Lakers' problems with their bench could have been solved if they'd just been a little bit more patient.
No, there's no knowledge in being patient. No, they need to win now. But what ended up happening is they ended up losing now, and we can continue to beat that horse until it's bloodied and sore and dead and rigged or whatever. The future right now is we're going to have to, as a fan base, handle another 72 games of this. And the solution starts after that from the ultimate leader that everybody creams over. And that's Mr. James. He's the leader, right?
Yeah.
He's the greatest of all time, right?
Yeah.
So your hero, LeBron James, the one that apparently we have to cream over when he has a 39-point game and a blowout against the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm supposed to be impressed with that in today's NBA. Oh, I'm going to blame everyone else for why they lost yesterday. That's not very smart. Why would I blame a bunch of nobodies? especially because the reason why those nobodies are on this team is due to the leadership of the meddler, LeBron James. I didn't draft a talentless Nepo baby and had him sit on the bench. People going crazy because he scored a two-pointer in Cleveland. What the fuck is that? I didn't do that. LeBron James did that. So what the fuck you doing coming on me on all that? What are you doing? What are you doing coming at me with that? I'm supposed to be impressed with a 39-point game from LeBron James and a blowout against Memphis after you got your asses handed to you by Detroit before then? No. You're going to have to come look me in the face on here and explain that to me. Explain why I'm wrong. You better have your info, because this is common sense. This is legitimate info. This is about winning. It's about winning.
Should always be about winning.
It's about winning. Bill Belichick said it best: stats are for losers. It's about winning. It's all it's about. If it's not about winning, it's about making money and stats, then go Larry Hughes yourself to death somewhere else. That guy was really good at that. Or go Tobias Harris your enjoyment somewhere. There are plenty of NBA players that couldn't give a rat's behind about winning, what team they're on, as long as they're getting that check after every week. That's fine. I'm fine with that. Hey, it's your life. But I ain't going to respect you. I ain't going to be cheering for you. No. When I watch Shaq play, Kobe play, LeBron when he was right, AD, Caruso, KCP, Kuzma, Rondo, when we saw all these players when they were winning, they were playing to win. You don't play that well. You don't win championships if it's just about the money. It's part of it, but those guys are playing to win. You think that team in 2020 during the bubble, you think they were thinking about money when they went through that rigorous mental game for 3 months? They wanted to win. And that's why when we defend that run, that's why we defended it, because the Lakers were the most mentally strong with Miami too. Miami was mentally strong as well. Denver too, and the Celtics to a degree as well. But those are the two that came out of that, and they were mentally strong. And they put on a hell of a show. And that should be respected, and that should be honored. But that team is gone. And now you have Vando, who spends more time sitting on the bench with his street clothes. Reddish will spend maybe one game every 2 weeks where he looks like he's a defensive player of the year type player. And then you have Alpaca head Max Christie. You have a rookie over there that doesn't know what he's doing yet. That's your team right now. That's your lineup. That's your rotation with the starters like Rui and AR, whom would be bench guys if they were on a championship team.
I do want to mention to Doobie, if you remember back to the training camp where LeBron made several comments about just being happy with the way the team was, just because, he was in a different place because his son was on the team and whatnot. I don't think he was in the mindset of let's do everything we can all out as far as winning is concerned. It just seemed like he did not come across with that kind of vibe in training camp, especially because he did have a son. It seemed like he had a different agenda or a different, I guess, perspective, so to speak, Joe. Did you get that same vibe that I did in regards to him and the way he was perceiving the season be about other things besides maybe winning a championship for him?
And who's this?
Mr. LeBron James.
I'm just making sure I wasn't the only one.
Well, again, because he talked about where the team stood. I think he came to grips really quickly about where this team was going to end up, and
yeah, LeBron cares about LeBron more than anything in his life. And that's just how this rolls.
Check the comments again, figure skating. It's with him, he kind of said the things that probably will make you change your statement on that. So I think for him, there was with bringing Bronny on the team, I think it's changed his perspective a little bit. And I think you need to go ahead and reflect back and look back on the comments that were made during training camp that he made. Again, we follow the Lakers every single day. So we were hearing all the stuff and reading all the stuff that was coming out of training camp. So before you say that in the comments, I would thank you for being here, by the way. We truly appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. We're just saying that he, is seeing things that's closing in on 40 that maybe we as fans don't want him to see. Maybe we want him to stay focused on winning a championship. But if that's the case, why would he have signed for the full max, Joe, or close to it? He did have to take a small deduction because of the mismanagement by Rob Pelinka. But why would he have signed for over $50 million? If winning truly meant all that it did before, Joe, why would he have taken the steps that he did and said the things and did the things that he did this summer, Joe, with the Lakers?
Well, I don't want to waste the time of the regulars with another rehashed explanation.
But this is a new listener, new
So
viewer.
the new listener comes in. I'm not going to give him the benefit of the doubt with a stupid comment like that. If you're interpreting this as a LeBron hate channel, then you haven't been here long
Because
enough.
he's one of the greatest players of all time.
Couldn't give two shits if he's the greatest player or not. I'm talking about 2024 on November 7th. I don't give a shit what he did in 2015 and 16. That's the past. LeBron can do us all a favor and retire at the end of the year so this team could get back to focusing on winning. LeBron wasted our time since the draft by wasting our time getting his son to come to the team who has no fucking business to be in the NBA. And if you don't want to believe that, then you don't know shit about basketball. If you want to call this hating on LeBron, that's on you. I'm a Laker fan. And if anything compromises this team from winning, whether it's LeBron's mammy, his daddy, his grandparents, doesn't matter who, I'm going to get on it. And LeBron was a big factor in why this team didn't do shit this summer. And if you don't want to understand that, then you don't know shit about basketball. And if you don't believe me, watch the games if you're not watching them already.
No, we're not haters. We're not haters, figure. No. We tell it like it is, and we're Lakers fans first and foremost. Bronny is on the figure. He is making a ton of money. So is the team on jersey sales alone. You don't get it. You don't get it, do you? He is making a ton of money in sales. So this is a financial windfall for the Lakers. And you're saying, what was it? I'm going to say, since when does anyone care about the 50?
I don't give a shit if you play college ball. What does that have to do with what's going on with the Lakers right now?
He scored 5 points, averaged 5 points a game at college ball.
What does that have to do with anything? Seriously, what does that have to do with this discussion? I played college ball. What? That's supposed to impress me? Are you watching the games in the NBA? Are you watching the Laker games?
But let me just say this, Joe. Since when does anyone care about the 55th pick?
Manu Ginobili was picked 57.
ESPN put it on the front page of ESPN.com that he was just being sent to the G League. They care about Bronny James.
I'm not upset. I'm loud and I talk loud, so you got to get used to it.
The people chanting at every single arena for Bronny James at the end of every game, they care about the 55th pick and Bronny James. The problem is when he comes out there and embarrasses himself because he is not ready for the NBA and not an NBA player. That's the problem I have. You're putting out a player that is just not going to help you win games. And it's taking up a guaranteed roster spot for 3 years and possibly a fourth with that option that the Lakers have. And the Lakers might pick up that option because he generates that much in merchandise and jersey sales for it. And you're just saying it's just a slot on the roster. Well, when you make bad choices in getting Vando, which is signing him and committing to another 4 years of him when he's already injured, when you got Max Christie and you overpaid for him by a substantial amount, when you've got Cam Reddish, who had a good game. But when was the last time he had a good game? Cam Reddish is probably looking at the Euro League, and that's why he's playing for his everyday NBA life at this point. Gabe Vincent has been awful. And like I said, Max Christie. Maxwell Lewis, do you remember him figure skating? He is still on the team and getting a guaranteed salary. Jalen Hood Schifino, anyone? Do you see what we're getting? This team is in the position that we're at. We cannot do any favors for anyone because our team is so poorly rostered at this point, figure skating. With you, you're saying us because you guys are haters. No, we're just trying to see the Lakers get to a better place. It's the Lakers. Remember, the show and the channel is called Lakers Fast Break, not LeBron Fast Break. LeBron is one of the greatest players of all time. There are so many great memories of 2020, what he did for us, that I'll always be grateful to him. But it's context now. It's 2024. He is not the player he once was. And you know this. You've seen this. For every turn back the clock game he has, yes, like he did yesterday. Do you remember the game where, like 2 days before that, where he got blocked every time he went to the rim? Do you remember that? Do you remember that? I don't think you do, because you see, the LeBron super fans, they forget all the negatives and they just go in, oh yeah, he did this against Sacramento in one quarter. He did this because he was so pissed off at Ja for an entire game, even though the Lakers lost as a team because there was nobody else doing anything outside LeBron. So yeah, it's just, again, we're not LeBron haters. We're Lakers fans first and foremost, and we want the Lakers to be a good organization, and that's not where they are right now, heading back home to face the Philadelphia 76ers, Joe. Wow, our ratings increased during those rants of ours. I like it. Maybe we should do it more.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, we do.
Yeah, that's part of the show. That's the only thing we're going to have to enjoy ourselves with, considering how.
Well, let me just say this. Add on figures. I asked if this was a LeBron hater channel. No, it's not a LeBron hater channel. But we get asked that all the time because we're a Lakers realist channel, Joe.
What's my saying, Gerald?
You're in the results business.
It doesn't matter what you say. LeBron hater, not a LeBron hater. Bronny not liking this, not liking that. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And if you're going to think what you want to think, that's on you. I keep saying that. The results are going to dictate the truth. That's it. There's nothing you can do about it. This has been an avalanche of badness since 2022. Since James Harden put a panic in the Lakers, and then they went and got Russell Westbrook. Since that time, this team has been on the downhill. Wait a minute, Joe. We made it to the Western Conference Finals. That's how you know things have gotten bad. That Laker fans were creaming over going to the Western Conference Finals. You know how many Western Conference Finals titles the Lakers have in their history? 32. They eat Western Conference Finals appearances for breakfast, and they got waxed 4-0. I don't consider that a success. Not when you have Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Sorry, folks. It's comes with the territory.
BTS says for $2, and thank you again for the super chat. Truly appreciated. He says, Joe and G-Man, the Lakers are not hopeless. Well, they're not hopeless, but they're going to be not getting to where we and you want them to be this season, most likely. I think that we've seen over the course of the past couple weeks, and again, it's just 8 games into the season, but what we're seeing are trends that are not heading in the right direction as far as them getting to the top of the mountain this season. So it's not hopeless, BTS, but it just does not look very good right now.
Cool. Yeah, the vibes are here, our misery, because our team sucks. So if you're expecting us to sit here and go,
flowers. We did a show once that we did a show like that mocking that style figure.
I wore my little cardigan sweater,
combed
my hair to the side.
Yeah.
So you can stick your positive vibes up your ass and take it home. We talk truth here. We bring the thunder and we bring the heat. If you can't handle the thunder and the heat, fuck off.
Oh, that'll get us a lot of viewers.
I don't give a shit. I don't care. Nothing. I said this at the beginning of the show. You want to feel good? Go eat ice cream. That's courtesy, paraphrasing from my favorite coach of all time, Nick Saban. You want to be liked? Serve ice cream. Everyone loves ice cream. I'm not here serving ice cream. I'm here serving. What was my name a week ago?
Which one?
Layman terms. So I'm the truth serum.
Yes. Okay. That was your moniker. Yes.
You don't want to handle. You can't handle the truth. Peace out.
Who was the winner? Who was that winner of that, by the way? Oh, that was your cousin.
My cousin. Yeah. So he doesn't count.
Okay.
I'm not giving him shit. He's got it.
Well, I actually answered it a couple of days beforehand, but I don't count either. So no, we should put that on.
Don't do that psychology shit projection. Okay, suck my ass with that project. You're not Freud. You're not gonna throw that psychology shit with me. I know that game better than you'll ever know it. Okay, the Lakers suck ass. LeBron is a problem. He needs to retire at the end of the year. You want to know the truth? That's the truth. Okay, that guy's tying up $50 million. And we're losing like a freaking 10th seed. So what's the point of LeBron being here? What? So you can cream on his legacy? I don't give a shit about LeBron's legacy. I care about the Lakers and winning now. Listen and pay attention. Don't bring that psychology bullshit with me. Don't bring that up. Projection. Project what? Project what? What am I projecting? What? You're going to start throwing out, you're playing off your insecurities and all that shit. Are you going to be pulling that stuff out too? Don't play that game. You will lose. You will lose, and you will lose royally. I am very secure. I know who I am. And right now, you ain't going to beat me in this discussion because the results are there right in front of you. Watch. You're going to see probably a little bit more in the next few weeks, maybe a month.
Just Robe, thank you for being here as well. Please like and subscribe.
I ain't chilling. I don't chill, folks.
Yes, he doesn't chill.
I don't chill. I'm not wired to chill.
Check out all of our episodes with his or my face on it. Yeah, he never chills.
You want chill? Go watch Laker Nation. Go watch, what's his name? I always forget his name. What the fuck is his name? Trey something, Trey something. They're all Troys and Treys. I don't know who the hell
they are. The Lakers are trash, can't shoot or defend. Yeah, about that. That's just about right in the way of saying it. BTS trade Braun for Ben Simmons and 2 picks. I think.
Hey, I would do it to get the picks. Lakers can't be. There you go, Trevor Lane. Beggars can't be choosers. Right now, the Lakers need to accumulate some kind of asset. Draft picks would help. Let's talk about that. Let's be positive about that. Can the Lakers trade some of these guys so they can get some assets so they can go draft somebody? But will they know? let's say even if they do draft right, are they going to keep them? That's the other problem.
The only player, okay, I tell you all the time, and again, to everybody that sends out those trades to us and Laker Tom, I always look everything on the other end of the spectrum, like I'm the opposite end GM on the other end. So I ask you, Joe, if Rob Pelinka called you tomorrow and said, I have the whole gambit of my roster or my picks to trade for something that can help right now, what exactly would I want if I'm on the other end? If you are that other GM, what exactly are you asking for? Because I can only see Austin Reeves as a guy that maybe is a six-man, really, really good six-man coming off the bench. That may be something if my bench is a little weak. And AD, outside of that, and the two first-round picks bundled together, there's not a whole lot right now that you can interest me on. Maybe Dalton Connect, but that's about it.
Well, if you were going to trade AR, maybe you trade. Maybe somebody wants him, who's kind of maybe wanting to get into the second round at least.
Maybe. I mean, you could bundle D'Lo's and JHS's contracts together because they're expiring for $22 million. I mean, if you're a losing team and you just want to get those expiring contracts, maybe, but not for talent. If you're looking for talent and you're on that other end, the Lakers don't have much to offer. If you're calling,
Yeah, maybe a Dallas would want AR. Maybe somebody like that. That's, hey, this extra guy with help would make a difference. A guy, someone that can control the ball, someone that can get to the paint and draw contact, someone that can shoot an occasional three, someone who's a good team player. I'd say that would be ideal. Although, I'm just saying that the type of team Dallas is, I don't think Dallas will ever make a trade with the Lakers as long as Cuban is there. AD is that's an AD trade to Oklahoma City is the first thought I had, because Oklahoma would be able to make a decision where they're like, look, if we give up draft picks, and maybe they're probably not going to give up Chet Holmgren, but maybe a Hartenstein with 3 or 4 first round picks, then they can almost guarantee they're going to win a championship with that trade.
I will say, let me go ahead right now. Adam says I would ride LeBron and AD till the wheels fall off. Well, the wheel almost fell off the other night with AD. He's already got plantar fasciitis, so that wheel is already hurting, and that's going to be something that's going to plague him for the rest of the season. LeBron just beasted last night. Again, Adam, how many times has he beasted this season? Up until yesterday, his numbers were significantly down from the previous season. He was averaging only 21, 6, and 6. And a lot of that came off of that one quarter against Sacramento. LeBron is 39. You guys ask way too much of him to do this on a consistent basis because it's just not there. We're watching the games, Joe, and again, LeBron at 39 is playing better than any 39-year-old ever has in the NBA. But the problem is, at the end of the day, he's still 39.
LeBron was playing low intensity basketball and still being relevant with AD being the primary. This was probably the first time we've really had this since the AD LeBron era. It worked the first 3 games. The issue is there's not enough talent around those guys to consistently keep rolling like that, where they're making good baskets, making consistent threes, playing defense hard, in terms of playing defense hard and for 48 minutes. It's just that the talent isn't there. The athleticism isn't there. We had discussed how athleticism can cover a lot of energy when you have it. And the Lakers don't have that. They don't have athletes, which is why we were so upset with the draft pick of Jalen Hood-Schifino instead of Cam Whitmore. Cam Whitmore had a lot of question marks, but you risk that draft pick with that kind of talent because Cam Whitmore can jump out the building. And when you have someone who's athletically freakish like him, and he's around a LeBron and AD, his talent would be enhanced even more. And they don't think that way. It seems like in LA, they don't do that. This team doesn't have any athletes. I mean, shoot, LeBron James might still be the best athlete, a guy that can jump bigger, higher, and longer than even the youngest guys.
But you see, he still has those days where he just doesn't have the lift. And the other day when he got blocked, what, 2, 3 straight times at the
Yeah, it's
rim?
it's unrealistic to you saw him in Detroit, and he could not. It looked like he had
Yeah, it was
cement
Detroit.
boots. It
Yeah.
looked like he had cement boots, and that's this guy has played probably 5 years longer than he probably should have. I'm not saying that he shouldn't have played the last 5 years, but you're talking about the NBA, the rigors of the NBA, plus the amount of games he's played in the playoffs. Think about that for a second. 5 years ago would have been his 17th season, right? He had played at that time the accumulation of 4 NBA seasons in the playoffs. That's a lot of games, and those games are intense games. It's more like playing a game and a half in the playoffs. And the fact that he's played this long and still been relevant in terms of being effective, it's a testament to his genetics and his will to continue to play. But this is about winning. The winning isn't there, and it's not going to happen with its current construction. That's it. There is nothing else to say on that. There has to be a change. And it seems like Jeannie and Rob have absolutely dinkus in terms of being able to have any initiative in making that decision. We're going to have to wait for LeBron to say, I'm out. And that is a sad commentary, too.
And Just Rome said it best. He's been, as you see, the Lakers went on this road trip. You've seen it more and more. Remember how good the first 3 games it looked with the motion offense, Joe? Remember how we were complimenting JJ on making sure that ball was popping around the perimeter? It was looking real good. But then it started to creep in the isolation a little bit more and a little bit more until finally Doobie has been saying it for the past couple games. It's looking more and more like Darvin Ham's offense revisited, where it's so ISO heavy. LeBron holding the ball, what, 17, 20 seconds until he takes a 3-pointer, ill-advised 3-pointer on a lot of occasions. Although he is shooting the ball still well from outside, it's still usually ill-advised. The ball is not moving the way it once did because it just seems like there's no confidence. He has no faith in a lot of his teammates right now, which is a shame. I've talked about Dalton Connect, about how when he's playing with a lot of the starters, he doesn't ever touch the ball. Well, yesterday he disappointed me because he started and he got the opportunities and didn't get it done. But he's a rookie. So for now, we can only give him a pass for so long on that. But he is still a rookie. With some of these other guys, Joe, there is no excuse. They're just not getting it done. So LeBron feels like everything has to fall upon him and AD.
A lot of bricks being thrown, and seeing the guys come off the bench like Gabe Vincent, Max Christie, and then on occasion Connect only being effective for a little bit. Star players will eventually just start saying, like, I have to do something here on my own, otherwise this thing's going to come off its rails. But it didn't take long for teams to adjust, to see film, to see what's really going on with the Lakers, and they've been exploited. It didn't take that long to get exploited, and it'll
He
continue.
says, who else does he have to pass to? It's a catch-22 with this team. And you're right. You're right. At this point, it's gone awry real quick, Joe.
Yeah, and it's the current setup with the NBA and its CBA. They're not going to allow teams to do what they used to do before without complete overhauls. Lakers have no choice at this point. They have to clean house a little bit before they can resurrect whatever they want here.
Doobie has a question. He says we played 18 games. Well, we played a lot of games. I don't think 18 games, but if you include the preseason, 15 have been on the road. I think actually it's they did play one of the preseason games. No, they actually don't because of the
They didn't play it anywhere. They
No,
didn't play the
yeah.
Crypt because they were renovating.
Yeah, it's renovating. Yeah, they played the Palm Springs games in Vegas and all that. So do you think it has anything to do with Braun or the whole team for that matter? Well, I mean, because Braun showed you last night when he's motivated, when he's into the game, he's playing defense on jaw. He's like hustling all over the court. He's getting 37 points. Yet the rest of the team that are substantially younger provide no effort last night and has JJ ripping them a new one.
Mm-hmm. They're just not talented enough, mentally or physically. Just what it is.
I mean, what does that say when the oldest player in the league is the only one that's providing effort for your team last night?
Well,
at the end of a road trip.
It goes to show you that there's really only maybe 4 players on this team that are actually talented.
Well, they played 6 games of preseason. Like Joe said, none of them were at the Staples/Crypto.com arena. So they played 14 games so far, if you include the preseason games.
I don't think that's. I don't know. I'm not going to use the road games as an excuse. A lot of these guys are young. They should be able to handle road games at this point. Back-to-backs, 23-year-old, 25-year-old, 27-year-olds. Those guys are supposed to play 82 games during the year without having a hitch.
I mean, Dalton Connect last night, he's what, 23?
Hmm?
He's playing in front of his family. He's playing in front of his coach for Tennessee in the starting lineup. You think he would have been motivated enough to go ahead and give a much better effort than a 1-7 game, Joe?
Sure, but he's a rookie. It's very hard to play in the NBA when you're a rookie. Very hard. NBA is so hard for rookies. It's not like the NFL. It's not like baseball in a lot of ways. There's ways you can blossom and make a difference. The NBA, you got to be someone like Victor Wembanyama, where you're just that next level type guy. Ben Simmons before his brains went to shit. The AIs and the Dwight Howards and LeBron James, those guys, those freakish, once in a lifetime type players, those are the ones that have good rookie years. And even when they do, they still don't impact winning as much. It's just rare. Even Shaq. I mean, the plus minus in wins was astronomical. They won 20 games in 1991, and he was drafted. And then that first year, they went 41-41. He was a 21 win difference. This is before Penny even came the following year. So those guys are very rare, very rare.
With Rui, could be the illness, that kept him out of the last game, Doobie. So I don't want to say 100% what the case is with him, why he's regressed a little bit after the first 3 games. But you said Austin Reeves could be better. His shot selection has been horrid, too loose with the rock. D'Lo, Max, Gabe, Hayes have been awful. Yeah, you've been watching the games with us on playback, Doobie. Absolutely. You're right on that. And again, it's just a lot of ineptitude coming off the bench, and the perimeter defense has been awful. The starters have not gotten the job done. D'Lo should be playing for a contract like he means it, because it's his last chance at a big contract. And obviously, that money's flying away now. It's saying goodbye, and it ain't coming back unless he starts to shape up. And I wanted to go ahead before we head on out. That that our members, and you can become one for just $2.99 a month. Thank you so much. Big shout out to every one of our members. I threw up a poll, Joe, with our members, and I said, members, with the Lakers having one of the worst benches in the NBA, and statistically, I think they have the worst NBA bench right now, is it time to make a change in the starting lineup? and my choices were there. Yes, move D'Lo to the bench. Yes, move AR to the bench. Yes, move Rui to the bench, or keep it the same. And 50% was move D'Lo to the bench. Austin was about a third. Rui and keeping the same starting lineup were both 8%. So your thoughts on what the members are thinking about possibly a change in the starting rotation?
So do you put LeBron at the point or Austin?
Well, I'm saying if you bring, I would say Austin because Gabe, I don't know what Gabe is giving you at this point.
You're going to have to put Reddish in there then. At least have something of defense at the moment until he goes to crap.
Until you ask him to drive or try to shoot again.
But you are you're gonna get smoked. You're gonna get smoked. You're gonna get smoked with a D'Lo in there, anyways. But I don't know. I don't know if Austin has enough in the tank to play point guard for an entire game.
Rough Artist says, what do you guys think of Laker Tom's next great center in the league, Christian Coloco? 2 points, a block. Again, his first game action, so I can't make too much of it. It's really thin. A lot of that probably is because of what he just went through or what he's been going through with the blood clotting. Again, you can't fault him for that, but I don't know if you guys can expect a whole lot from him right away, and I don't know if he's going to reach that level where you guys want him to, Joe.
Someone who got dumped by the Toronto Raptors is not going to help this team. Sorry. This team has 5 players that are NBA players, and then you have a couple guys on the bench that can sort of play in a rotation. That's it.
A subscriber.
The rest are just, to me, G League players. The Lakers have 7 players. 5 of them are not starters. 5 of them would be fillers in a title team. That's it. No one you can really depend on game in and game out. I shouldn't say that. You can depend on them, but not as a starter. Like AR is probably maybe the closest guy that could be dependable as a starter, but he's just better he would be better off the bench. And Rui definitely off the bench.
What about D'Lo?
D'Lo is absolutely useless right now. D'Lo, Gabe Vincent, and Max Christie are absolutely horrendously bad. I mean, bad. They are NBA players by name, but they are playing like guys that should be in the G League. Even D'Lo.
Free Smoke says, would you all trade Reeves, D'Lo, and 2 firsts for Kobe White and Vucevic?
I would trade anything and everyone for draft picks right now.
No, he's saying, would we trade our 2 firsts for Kobe White and Vucevic?
No, I'm not trading any of the draft picks for anybody. Kobe White and Vucevic aren't making that much of a difference to risk the future picks unless it was a top 14 pick.
As far as protected?
Mm-hmm. Okay. But I think there's something I gotta read into it. I think there's something about the 29th pick where they can't put a protection on it due to some.
I haven't read that on there, but that may be the case.
I have to look at it.
I just know that they can send a single first round draft.
Why would the Bulls do that? Just because of the 2 picks?
Yeah. If they're already talking about.
Well, I'll tell you what, Free Smoke. That's a hell of a question. That's a good one. Because that's 2 things that the Lakers really need right now. They need someone that can somewhat be a ball handler and a big. So if those are highly protected, which I think one of them can't be, I would be good with that.
Because the good news for the Chicago Bulls, Joe, is that they're in 9th place in the Eastern Conference. The bad news for the Chicago Bulls is that they're 3-6,
The
which tells you how bad the Eastern Conference
East is
is.
getting back. It's going back again.
Yeah, I thought it was going to actually get better and more competitive with some good teams, but so far we're not seeing the residuals from that right now. When your
Still
third
top
place
heavy.
team,
It's still top heavy.
yay, a subscriber. All right. Thank you, Just Rome, for subscribing. Gotten a few subscribers tonight. Please subscribe. It does help out the channel. It is immensely and greatly appreciated. I know that we are not always everyone's cup of tea, and Joe telling somebody basically to F off earlier. I think he did, by the way. I haven't heard from him since. It's not the best way to bring in subscribers, but
I'm not going to put up with some jackhole telling me who to be and what I am and projecting. Are you fucking kidding me right now with this shit? Projecting on a sports show? Come on. Give me a break. Talking to the wrong dude about brain and interpretations and observations, man. That's my game. I do that every day, everywhere I go. Don't pull that shit on me. You don't like hearing the truth? Go somewhere where you're being lied to all the time and you can believe the fairy tale that you want to believe in. Fuck that. That's why we're in this predicament in this world, because of people like that who continue to manifest just dreams in their head that aren't true. AC as in AC
Alex
Russo?
Caruso. He's helping key the best defense in the league by a wide margin in OKC, just to let everyone know.
I'm sorry, I'm not paying Soto $700 million. I'm not even paying him $600 million. Not doing it. Sorry. I would say because the market's gonna give him something, I'd say I give him 10 years, $500 million. That's because if I have Steve Cohen money and you want to make a splash. The thing is, though, Pete Alonso's gone if he does that. That's why I don't mind the Nets signing Soto, because if they sign Soto for anything in that range, Pete's gone. And you also have Francisco Lindor and Soto. I don't know. I feel like that's too redundant. I don't know. But the Mets, God bless you, Mets. If you want to do that, go ahead.
Eric says all OKC needs.
No. Paul, it will. Hey, BTS, Paul will be worth $400 million. Somebody will pay him that. That guy is nasty. Sorry, G. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying. Eric says if they get Giannis, that defense is fire. I mean, their defense is, limiting teams to under 100 points.
OKC doesn't need Giannis.
I mean, Chet Holmgren's averaging what, 3-4 blocks a game?
No, their team is set, guys. Unless there's an AD trade that they can put in there, which they're not going to give up Chet for anybody, unless it's let's say.
So what if Giannis does become available? Because it's derailing pretty fast in Milwaukee.
I think if he becomes available, I'm first thought in my head is Golden State.
They don't have enough picks.
Golden State will be hot and heavy for him.
They don't have enough picks. Actually, Milwaukee would have to be in love with the Kumingas, the Moody's, and Podziemskis of the world in order for that trade to go through. Because
that's funny, BTS. Yeah. I was talking about that too. I guess he's got a good-looking girl though, so that's usually how it works.
Thameless says, is Giannis more likely to stay or go? At this point, he's been talking more about hinting. He's been doing the LeBron stuff, passive aggressiveness.
Yeah, something's going on. Something's been going on in Milwaukee the last 3 years. I think Giannis is just not happy over there. No one is happy.
What's the word on Vando? I mean, I've seen him shoot, flat-footed shoot the other day, but he's still not yet been cleared for any contact or 5-on-5. He's still a ways away. I don't know if he suffered a setback. They've been kind of very vague about it. Last week, I think I reported here on this show, JJ Redick talked about Vando, but yeah, it's as of now, it's still nothing yet. But as soon as it does, we go ahead and I retweet it out on Twitter at Lakers Fast Break, and then I announce it on the very next show that we're on as far as any major updates on the Lakers. Yeah. Good show, my friend. Really good show. Good crowd tonight, my friend. That's truly appreciated. So hopefully this crowd will stop by tomorrow for the Lakers and also as well the Philadelphia 76ers on playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. And then the best post game.
I might not be available tomorrow night, folks. I'll be in San Diego most of the night.
Okay.
So just, I'll try to chime in remotely in a way if I can, but I will be around a lot of family. So we'll see how it plays out.
No word on Christian Wood, but then again, Xbox, he did have 2 arthroscopic surgeries on his knee because the first one didn't go right, and so they had to do it again. Remember, after he had the arthroscopic knee surgery, then he announces his comeback with a vengeance tour, and then after that, Joe, guess what happened? He had another surgery. So yeah, the vengeance tour has been delayed, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, but no updates. And as soon as there is one, we do let you know right here at the Lakers Fast Break. Doobie says we better not lose with no Embiid or no Max. Yeah, absolutely. If you just have PG there just coming back, absolutely no excuses why they should lose tomorrow to a 1-6 team without 2 other top 3 players. None. Do you expect them to come back with a lot more energy and focus after getting chewed out royally by JJ?
I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think they're going to be playing a team that's inferior tomorrow.
And they'll have AD
is probable, so he should be playing tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. And Rui should be back from his illness as well. So home cooking. Hopefully we'll do the trick for the Lakers. But again, it is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. It is Joe Soro, a.k.a. Ox1947 at LakersBall.com. And also, Simblades. Please go ahead and support him. Simblades with a Y.com. Kyle Lowry is about to make D'Lo quit. Shake my head. Okay. We'll find out tomorrow if that's the case. Vando and Wood, pay attention for updates towards in December. Yeah, that's December, Jay. That's still a long ways away. So again, we've got the team that we've got. Hopefully JJ can find something that'll get back the honeymoon. Maybe some home cooking will do that, and we'll find out. But tomorrow we will be back. Again, playback.tv/Lakers Fast Break. And of course, the best post game that's around is always right here at the Lakers Fast Break podcast. Thank you, everyone, and be safe.